Welcome back to Fold in the Cheese. It is your boy K-Troll on the mic today. I'm wearing a puffer jacket in honor of my dear friend in Michigan who is freezing his ass off. That's right, Ethan Gelfand in his sweatshirt and Survivor headband. He is surviving the tundra in Michigan. What's going on, man?
Yeah, it's 18 degrees here. So I appreciate the solidarity in staying warm. You're probably sweating. It's probably like 70 degrees there, so whatever. So yeah, it's winter in Michigan. Although supposedly it's supposed to be a calmer one. We're not supposed to get that much snow. So we'll see where that goes.
Well, what's the fun in just being freezing cold if it doesn't
I
at
know.
least snow, right?
That's the point. I'm the exact same way. I feel like if it's going to be cold, then give me the snow. At least that's fun. The kids can go sledding. You can do all that cool stuff. Don't just be cold for the sake of being cold and have no spoils with it. It's just garbage.
I'm with you. I'm not sure your microphone, by the way, is on. I think you're just talking into the computer at this moment. You're not that typical crystal clear Ethan Gelfand that we're.
How about now, brown cow? How about
there he is. So we've got a lot to cover today because it's been another eventful week in the NFL and more injuries are continuing to pile up. And I've got a fun little game we're going to play with these injuries. But first, I wanted to give you a big time shout out.
What?
My man, with the Hanukkah gift, coming in strong.
Yes.
Check this bad boy out.
It's Kemper's.
Okay, that's right. Any of those card collectors out there, this is a rated rookie, a Donruss rated rookie of me looking my best, getting ready to toss a dime to Ethan, which he will catch so awkwardly.
I do. I'm very good. Here's the thing.
Own rated rookie as well. I got to get that thing up in my wall here. I got to figure out how the mechanism works.
I got to figure out whether I do it on that wall or just my own wall so I can see it. But yes,
you could go with your card collection.
Here's the thing. I will catch any ball thrown to me. It's not going to look great, but it's going to be caught. That's the thing.
You do have good hands, but yeah, it's awkward. It's almost always awkward. I'm always thinking he's going to drop it. Hey, he caught it. Oh, how about that?
No, you don't always think I'm going to drop it because you know I'm catching. He's like, he's going to look weird doing it. But he's going to
look like there it is.
He's going to catch the ball.
That is one of my favorite pictures ever to be created.
The best part was, it's not like we were playing a game. It's not like it was in triple coverage. No, it was a photo shoot, and you were just lofting a ball. Actually, no, you never loft a ball. Whenever you throw the ball, it is a laser. And so I was just like, ooh,
there it comes. Catch it.
I was just trying to make it a very dramatic win and a dramatic catch. So
shout out to our friend at Liza Hippler on Instagram, crushing it with the photos.
Yes,
always does a great job. Check out her new Lens of Love as well. New product. We'll check it out there. It's good stuff. So appreciate that. I've got something coming your way as well. I think we're still. What day are we on now? 5 or something? What is?
So last Thursday was the first night. So 1, 2, 3.
Oh, then we're probably
5, 6. This is the 7th night.
This is the 7th night. Does that mean it's over tomorrow?
Tomorrow evening.
So you do 8 nights, right? That's 8 Crazy Nights, that movie. I never saw it, but that was the premise, right?
Yes, correct.
So the 8th night is the last night of Hanukkah, and then
full menorah. Every candle is up there and lit.
Do you have a menorah in your house?
Yeah, it's downstairs.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet. That's pretty cool. I will tell you that Nora, our daughter, not Menorah, our daughter, just Nora, came home from school with I guess they had a project in class where they made these paper dreidels. And I was like, whoa, you got a dreidel.
Paper dreidel. First of all, if you know the song, it's made of clay. Dreidel. I made it out of clay.
They don't, the resources. They were just, and honestly, I don't even think they really told them anything about Hanukkah. I think they just had to make a dreidel. Because I was
make this spinning top. It's fine.
I was surprised because I was like, I've never seen one of my kids come home where they've made them aware of what Hanukkah is really. Maybe they colored a picture of a menorah or something and be like, oh, it's this, but it'd be with a Christmas tree and with other stuff.
Actually just a candelabra.
It's just a candelabra. Here are all the holidays that happen. But no, she'd made they took construction paper and they just they cut it into little dreidel shapes, 4 of them. And they just kind of tape them all together. So it made a 4-sided thing. It doesn't spin. It doesn't do anything. But I was like, oh, snap. Gimel. Give me that. Give me that Gimel. I know what's up with Gimel.
That the dreidel game is just degenerate gambling. That's all it is.
Just gambling. Yeah, it really sets the stage for gambling, which I do love about your religion in general. But, I've got something coming your way. It has shipped. I don't know when it will be there, but it would be awesome if it came by tomorrow, but I don't think it will. We'll see.
Well, the classic line, you shouldn't have, man. You didn't need to. I just thought, hey, give a man a Hanukkah gift. I hope he likes it. Put it up on that wall next to Friday Night Lights. It's going to be perfect.
I will. I'm just going to pop it. Bam, right there. Right there. Got an open spot for it. It's my rookie card. I love it.
Boom.
So we've got, like I said, a lot of injuries in the NFL, and it has been the theme of this season. I feel like this season, I don't know if we say this every year. It's like I can't believe how many injuries there are, but there's just big name guys, particularly quarterbacks, which you really don't
quarterbacks this year. It's all
the league is built around keeping quarterbacks healthy so that you can continue to see good offenses, which is what pays the bills. But I've got a list of starting quarterbacks this week, and I've got a couple of fun games for us to play with them. And so this is what I'm excited about. Number one, I will mention Justin Herbert is having surgery on a broken finger on his throwing hand this time. That poor dude, I think he broke a finger on his left hand earlier. He just played with a splint on it. Now he broke one on his throwing hand. It's like he's done for the year. They've shut him down. So
he's done for eating. He just can't do it anymore.
Just no eating. These fingers are all broken. I'm just gonna chomp. So he's done. And then CJ Stroud is now in concussion protocol. It's like can't catch a break. Zach Wilson has been elevated for the third time this year. He's gonna be starting again.
I don't want to.
I don't want to do it. You can't make me.
And yet I
got a fun little game here.
He wins Offensive Player of the Week, by the way.
That's true. Yeah, he was a stud in the second half. It was all in the second half. They had no points in the first half.
Yeah, first half it was 0-0. And when I picked up the Houston defense, I was like, perfect. Doing great. Womp, womp. Womp, womp.
The only thing about that situation is that he's finally decided he's got nothing to lose, and maybe that changes his outlook. And he's a YOLO bomber historically. He's a backyard football guy. That's what he did in college, right? His backyard football, scrambles, keep the play alive, in like a very dumb Mahomes kind of way. You know? Much dumber Mahomes kind of way. But it's similar style of football, which is like hard to get him in the pocket. He scrambles pretty well. He throws decently on the run. And he will chuck it into double and triple coverage and hope that this guy gets it. And then if it's Garrett Wilson, he probably will. So there's some opportunity there with him, but I don't want to give him too much credit here. The game that I want to play is I'm going to give you a list of, it looks like 10 to 12 starting quarterbacks this week, which are pathetic. And I want you to tell me where they played college football.
Oh, God.
There are some good names on here.
Zero.
There's some good names on here. And I'll give you a couple of softballs early to kind of get the pump primed, so you'll be fine.
Nervous. I'm going to go over. This is bad.
No. You'll get at least half of these. You'll be better than you think. Okay, so heading to Pittsburgh first. Kenny Pickett is also injured. He's down. Mitchell Trubisky. Where did he play college football?
North Carolina. Those Tar Heels themselves. The number 2 overall pick in that draft, where Patrick Mahomes also went. What, 11th or something?
Yeah. Yikes. Would like to have that one back.
Deshaun Watson in that draft. Patrick Mahomes. Yikes.
Not so good. So Trubisky was kind of, his story was always like played receiver or didn't play football or something where like, and then all of a sudden he was a quarterback at Carolina and you're like, what?
Good for a year.
Yeah, for a year. They went pro in the top, number 2 pick, so whatever. All right, next one. This guy was actually highly drafted, but lost his job immediately. Davis Mills, or as you called him, Davis Mills, Montana.
I love my man, Davis Mills. Stanford.
Yeah, he did go to Stanford. He played at Stanford. He looks like he may start this week if Stroud can't go. Yeah, we'll see.
Did you ever see that picture of Davis Mills where it had like the longest neck you've ever seen?
No, I haven't seen.
You got to Google
Davis
it.
Mills giraffe. Okay, good to know. All right, this one's been a starter for a while, but love him anyway. And his jorts and jean jackets, Gardner Minshew, starting in Indianapolis for the Colts. Anthony Richardson went down early this season. He's out for the year. Gardner Minshew.
Uncle Rico's Washington State, the air raid offense with Mike Leach.
Cougs. Mike Leach and the Cougs. That's right. Gardner Minshew. He is he's an interesting cat. He's one of the kind.
I bet he would just be fun. He's probably the best locker room presence. I get to see that dude just being fun and just keeping it light. And he knows his role. He embraces it. And it's like, yeah, man, I'm going to do my thing. Let's go out and sling this thing and win a few games and have a good time.
Yep. And he gets jacked too. I remember he had to fill in for Trevor Lawrence one game last year. And I remember the video after the game of him going into the parking lot and he met up with his dad. And like, he was so jacked and they were both kind of the same.
He was not on the Jags last year. He was on the Eagles.
It was the Eagles. That's what I meant. He was on the Eagles when Jalen Hurts was hurt. That's right. With the Eagles, he got out of the locker room, went to the parking lot, and he was so jacked with his dad in the parking lot. It's pretty cool. That's right. He was on the Eagles. You're right. Okay. This guy also drafted this year and was maybe going to be the future, but jury's very much out. Aiden O'Connell in Las Vegas.
I knew you were going to say O'Connell. I do not know where Aiden went. I don't.
The Crustache himself. He's a Purdue Boilermaker. Boiler up. Let's go. Wow. Come on. How do you not know that?
I'm not going to lie. When they're like, Aiden O'Connell will be starting for the Ram, I'm like, I don't even know who the hell this guy is. Like, all right.
He's a rookie. And
I know he's a rookie.
At some point, he was compared to Tom Brady, which I was like, what? I'm sure they find like literally anything to compare him to. Like, he's got a vowel in his last name.
The same height, maybe. That's
maybe the same height. I don't know. Someone was like, he could be that guy who's unheralded that is like a gamer, and like, no, he's not. All right. In Seattle, if Geno Smith can't go again this week, which he's got a groin injury, we've got Drew Lock, who was once a highly drafted pick as well.
That's like with Drew Lock, there was like, yeah, he's the next thing, man. In Denver, he's gonna be the guy. Okay, it's Seattle. He's gonna win this job outright. Geno's what? Missouri, the Tiger.
Missouri. Yeah. That's right. He's a Missouri Tiger. That's right. Okay, that's it for the easiest ones.
I've got a couple more there. With Drew Lock.
I got a couple more that are still easy for you, but I'm gonna mix them in here. How about Easton Stick taking over in LA for the Chargers?
I don't even know who that is.
Stick.
Let's go with Morehead State.
Morehead State is not correct, but very close. North Dakota State.
Oh, I had a state.
He's one of them Bison guys.
Okay, he's a Bison. I mean, North Dakota State, they're always national champs.
They are. They've yet to put out a good NFL quarterback.
Carson Wentz had a good, solid few years. It's crazy how quick he went out of the NFL. I don't know.
It is surprising that he's not starting over some of these guys, right? You're kind of like, was he not better than them?
Was it this offseason when he was doing like training to try and get back in the league? He was wearing gear from each of the teams he's been on. He had like a Colts headband, a Redskins jersey, and like Eagles pants or something.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Also Google that. And a beaver eating cabbage.
A beaver eating cabbage. And a hippo eating a watermelon. Okay, how about Nick Mullins, who is starting for the Vikings?
Right, he's been on the Niners. Nick Mullins, yeah. Let's go with the Eastern Michigan Eagles.
It is a directional university, so you're halfway there. But he's from Brett Favre's alma mater, Southern Miss.
Southern Miss, yes.
That's right.
It is a bird.
Miss. Old Nick Mullins, a gunslinger.
He is a bird. I got the state. I got a bird and a direction. I'm in the ballpark.
You're in the ballpark. This is an easier one for you. Jake Browning, who's starting for the Bengals, taking over for Joe Burrow. He was a 4-year college starter.
I don't know why it's easier for me. He's on my dynasty team, and he's been lighting it up for me, by the way. Can we just say shout out to my dynasty team? Well, yes, I did finish in last place, but ended the year on a 3-game heater. 2 of the final 3 weeks, I had the top score in the league. Upset the number 1 team in the league, Jake Browning, my man. Don't know where to school, but we're going to go Colorado State.
Oh, you're in the right conference. It was Washington. Well, is Colorado State even in the Pac-12? I guess they were at one point.
No, Colorado State.
Mountain West. I don't know what they're in now. Big 12. I think they're going to the Big 12, maybe. Everyone's going to the Big 12. Whoever's left over is going to the Big 12.
We'll take you.
Yeah, Washington Huskies. He was the prodigal son. He was a prodigy. He was everything.
It's like Jake Locker. Remember that guy?
Yeah, it is just like Jake Locker. It was right after him, I think.
Oh,
all right.
Oh, you did say he was a 4-year starter because Penix has been there for a couple of years now. So Browning's not a rookie. So how long has he been in there? 2 years?
Browning's been in the league for like 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 or what?
Yeah. Okay. You probably know this one. Joe Flacco, who is starting in Cleveland for the Browns.
Yes, he is a Delaware hen.
He's a Delaware blue hen. That's right. Flacco. And he's looking actually kind of decent, I guess.
I got to say. For coming off your couch to lead into I did pick him up. Everyone mocked me when I picked him up in our dynasty. Keep in mind, this is when I literally had 0 starting quarterbacks because I had Joe Burrow got knocked out. Mac Jones got knocked out because he sucks. and Tannehill had already been out. Those were my 3 quarterbacks coming in. So I had 0. So I picked up Jay Browning. As soon as there was a rumor that Joe Flacco was on a plane, I'm like, pick him up.
Pick him up. Flacco, why not? He's been lighting it up. All right, you mentioned on his couch. How about Tommy DeVito coming off his couch in his mom's basement?
Yeah. No, I mean, does the University of Mom Knox count? I mean, just living in his basement? That's where I'm going with.
Hard Knocks mom? No. He was actually, and you should remember this, he was at Syracuse for 3 or 4 years in the ACC. We had to play against him. He then transferred to Illinois for his final year of eligibility.
That's right.
He came out of Illinois. Same color scheme the whole time, which
because they gave Michigan a scare last year. That's right.
Yep. He had too much swag. He had too much swag. He wanted to keep from Syracuse. He's like, I'm just gonna. That's right. The S on my shorts is for Illinois. It's the silent S. It's it's a tribute.
Illinois.
All right. You mentioned Mac Jones. How about Bailey Zappi? Zappy.
Zap Attack, the Hilltopper, Western Kentucky.
And then, for the 3rd time this year, Zachary Wilson coming in. More trash quarterbacks from...
Don't make me BYU Cougar.
That's right.
It is ironic. Cougar, obviously, with the rumors of him going after some moms. There we go.
That's true. That's probably why he chose BYU.
Like, BYU, if I could talk, I thought they weren't allowed to have sex. That was the whole rumor. Like, remember a few years ago, the March Madness tournament, like that one of the BYU stars had got self-suspended because there were rumors of him having premarital sex or something like that. Do you remember this story?
I can't keep up with the Mormon religion. I cannot keep up with that shit, man, because they're boning.
But you remember this story, right? I'm not
They've
crazy.
got like 4 or 5 wives, and then they're like, no, we don't do that. But we don't have sex at all. But then we go on these missions. But then we fuck people's moms. Like, I don't know, man. It's hard to keep up. Hard to keep up. Ever changing. Okay, well done. Like I said, probably about 60%. You got about 50 to 60%.
More than 50. I was probably like 64. I'm gonna go with that.
I'll count.
he's doing the math.
7 out of 1, 2, 3, 4,
even
5,
the ones
6,
I missed, I'm glad I was in. Maybe it's
7 out of 12.
7 out of 12. So yeah, I'll take that.
Between 50 and 60, yeah.
Wait, let me see. 7 divided by 12. I should know that. 58. Okay, 58%. But the thing that I missed, ballpark, kind of.
Okay. Let's do this real quick because I do think we want to hit our NFL Pick'em for this week, which I crushed last week. And you've won 0 weeks in Pigskin Pick'em. You've won 0 weeks between you, me, and Kyle. You've won 0 weeks.
But here's what's been frustrating for me is I will force a lot of ties. There have been lots of weeks, because what happens is we play skin style, where if there's a tie one week, it carries over to the next week. So whoever wins the next week wins too. It doesn't matter if you weren't in the tie previously, whoever wins it gets it. So I have forced many a tie, but then the following week, I didn't do nothing. So
there have been 6 ties already in 14 weeks. It's crazy, which is like almost every other week is a tie. Yeah,
it's been very frustrating this year. I don't like it.
You owe a lot of money.
I owe lots of money. And I was the reigning champ last year, both in overall record and in number of weeks won. And I just have not had that repeat magic. I got no excuses. It's on me. I get that. So just frustrating.
Terrible. Okay, so this may be fantasy relevant, so I wanted to do this quick. I want us both to predict how many yards each of these quarterbacks is going to throw for this week. I'll give you the matchup. And you tell me what you think, and I'll give you my number, and we'll go from there. I've not pre-done anything. I literally just thought of this before.
In every game?
Well, these 12 games that these 12 quarterbacks are playing in, these crappy quarterbacks.
Oh, okay, still.
It's a lot of the games, but yeah. These guys, these no-name guys that were quarterbacking. So Mitch Trubisky against the Colts. What do you think?
Well, why don't we just go down the pick'em, and then we'll just do it per games? Because, for example, it's Chargers-Raiders. There's 2 of them right there.
Okay, fine. All right, fine. Pick them.
So I'll say Raiders. You pick the game first, and then are you doing yards as well?
Yeah, I'm trying to guess yards as well.
So Raiders,
Easton Stick versus Aiden O'Connell in this game. I, for no real reason whatsoever, am going to take the Chargers. The only thing that gives me hesitation about the Raiders, I would pick the Raiders, but if Josh Jacobs doesn't play, I think their team looks very different. I'm going to go with the Chargers, even though the Chargers totally suck.
Yeah. I'm going the Raiders just because the Chargers totally suck. And every time I want to give them credit, it's like, oh, yeah, if you can't win with Justin Herbert, how are you going to win without him? So
maybe Easton Stick is better than Justin Herbert. Quarterback controversy?
Jake Browning over Joe Burrow?
Okay.
Aiden O'Connell is going to throw for 217 yards, and Easton Stick will have 178.
Okay. I'm going to go over both of those. I'm going to go O'Connell with 229.
Whoa, easy.
I'm going Easton Stick, 204. Let's go.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how I roll.
Explosions.
That's how I roll. All right, next matchup. We got the Vikings traveling to Cincinnati to take on Jake Browning and those hot Bengals.
Dude, give me that Bengals train. Keep rolling, old Jake from State
Nick Mullins versus Jake Browning. I mean, it's another. This first 3 games are all 6 of the backups from the games that we were just talking about.
So, my boy. Oh wait, do you want to say who you? Oh no, you go first this time. That's right.
I got the Bengals as well. I think Jake Browning's on fire. Nick Mullins is a gunslinger. I like Nick Mullins, but they said that the Bengals could have trouble with the Vikings because the Vikings defense has been playing really well. They're getting a lot of pressure, and the quarterbacks had to get rid of the ball very quickly. Jake Browning, however, has thrown a ton of his passes very short range, a lot of yards after the catch, and so I think he's the right kind of quarterback to actually not be disrupted by this defense. So that's my analysis for all of that.
Love it.
Jake Browning is going to go for 246.
Okay.
Kind of like a medium effort for him.
I'm going to give old Jake 234.
Okay. And then Nick Mullins is going to come in here and YOLO his way to, let's say 188 for him.
Damn. Is Jefferson's out, right?
Jefferson's not out. He did hurt his chest, had to go to the hospital, but may play this week. He's still questionable. Apparently there's no, I don't know if it's structural damage or no organs lacerated. I'm not sure.
You just meant no organ. You got a big pause. No organs lacerated. No organs.
So he's fine.
He's got no organs. Let's give him just a 201.
201. Okay. Let's see what else we got here.
Next we got these. Oh no, you throw it to me first. That's right. Right? No, I throw it to you. Steelers at Colts.
Yeah, it's actually a really tough pick for me. I don't know who to take here. I went back and forth. I'm going to go with the Colts because Trubisky is so bad. Yeah. And even though I think the Steelers on the whole are a better team, Trubisky is dragging them down. They've lost to the freaking Patriots, for God's sake, and the Cardinals in back-to-back weeks. So I know they've got Mike Tomlin's going to get his even record, whatever, and I think he will when Pickett's back. But
2 games?
Can't win 2 games. Trubisky can't win 2 games. I'm going with the Colts.
I too am going with the Colts. Again, I just love Gardner. They're playing with house money. Why not? They're in the playoff race. I mean, I guess they both are. But I like more what I've seen from the Colts. Trubisky, 4th and 2. Let's throw it. I'm gonna throw it 30 yards.
Yeah. Trubisky's gonna throw for 165 yards.
So Gardner is gonna go off for 274, and Mitch is gonna get 212.
Yeah, I'm sticking with 165 for Mitch, and Gardner's not going to go off for 274. He's going to have 223.
Okay.
We'll be judging. This is like our do-it bet this year. We're going to be judging who's closer this year.
Should have.
All right, we got the Broncos traveling to Detroit. This is actually a pretty good matchup, I think. You get the Lions, who struggled last week. You got the Broncos, who've been hot lately.
Lions been very disappointing, and I think it's the third quarter that's really been hurting them. They've literally just disappeared in the third. But I like their offenses. When they're clicking, watch out. Denver's been plucky. They've been hanging around. I'm just going to give the slight nod to Detroit. I got to give it to them. You got to show something as you're heading close to these playoffs. Show you can do something. Broncos is a surging team, though. Yeah,
I'm not going to say it's a must-win for the Lions, but like from an identity standpoint, like they need to win this. They really do. So I'm going to go with the Lions as well, but I think it'll be a very close game. It's a 5-point spread. I kind of like the Broncos to cover that.
Yeah.
But I'm going with the Lions as well. We've got Russ Wilson versus Jared Goff in this one. Don't need to project.
Actual starters.
Yeah, these are actual starters.
All right, now we got Chicago traveling to Cleveland, the battle of the gross colors. Who you got?
Yeah, a lot of orange in this game. Another tough one, actually, because the Bears came out and throttled the Lions last week. So I'm going to go with the Browns. Flacco's been competent enough and moving the ball just fine. Their defense is still strong, although they've struggled a little bit more recently, but it is in Cleveland. I'm going to take the Browns at home.
I'm loving the Browns defense. This is I was listening to the radio, and this Flacco-led Browns team is very similar, if you think about it, to his Ravens-led team that, led him to the Super Bowl. Very defense-heavy and, just manage the offense, and he's been doing just that. I mean, he's shocked everybody with what he's been able to do. I'm not saying they're going to the Super Bowl. I'm just saying they're going to win this game.
Yeah, I got Flacco for 284 yards on this one.
Wow.
Big game.
284. I'm going to give him 243.
Yeah, big game from Flacco.
All right.
Star.
Like it. I like it.
Throw it to me. Come on.
Oh, my bad. Wait. No, I went second. So you throw it to me.
That's not how that went. I picked the Browns first, but okay. Falcons traveling to Carolina to take on the Panthers.
Right. So you picked the Browns first, and now it's my turn to pick first. So I'm going with the Falcons. Rise up. Panthers are terrible.
Yeah, I got the Falcons as well. Panthers are terrible. And these are unfortunately both starting quarterbacks, even though they both suck.
They are both. All right. Now we got the Bucks to the Packers. Once again, starting quarterbacks.
Yep. So this is a tough one for me because I think this is going to be an offensive explosion. I think that these two teams match up with weaknesses, strength on weakness. So I think the Bucks will be able to run the ball all over Green Bay. Rashad White has quietly been an incredible story this year. Yeah. And Green Bay is going to be able to throw all over Tampa Bay. And so, I think Jordan Love's going to have a big game. I think Rashad White's going to have a big game. I think this will be an offensive explosion. I'm taking the Packers at home. The Bucks have faltered recently, whereas I thought they were a better team. They have not been able to close out games. I'm taking the Packers at home, but that Monday night game in New York gave me some pause.
Bucks closed out last week, and they are literally in the thick of a playoff race at 6-7. So this is a
Packers.
Are they? I mean, I'm just thinking because the Bucks with the division, because someone has to win that, whereas the Packers have a little harder of a drive. But so I'm actually going to go with the Bucks here. They won a close one with Atlanta last week, and I think Baker, Bake Show, let's go. Get another contract.
My bet of the week is the over on this game.
What is
I think it's like 41 or something. And I was like, yeah, give me that.
give me that.
All right. We've got the Texans traveling to Nash Vegas to take on the Titans. Tighten up, baby. Texans, if they may not have CJ Stroud, if they don't, we have to take a bet on Davis Mills, Montana.
Oh, I'm first. Tighten up, man. That was a great comeback win for them against the Dolphins. I mean, that showed a lot of poise, surprisingly. I've liked Will Levis's kind of tenacity when he threw that pick and then he went and caused the fumble. I know this wasn't last week, it was the week before. Throws a pick, causes the fumble, picks it up himself. I mean, he's out there doing everything he needs to. I'm going to go with the Titans, especially because the Texans were very disappointing last week against the Jets. Granted, great defense, but still disappointing.
Yeah, Texans are not the same without Tank Dell, and Nico Collins is banged up. And so
I know Dalton Schultz wasn't playing either, and obviously CJ got hit, but
so they're losing players left and right. If this team was fully healthy, I'd probably take the Texans because the Titans have been up and down. As good as they looked against Miami and they hung in there, and it's probably like no one gave them a chance, which is why they played well. But I'm going to go Titans. Tighten up, baby. And we needed Davis Mills yardage total if he's the starter.
Let's go with 184.
Yeah. So what you're not taking into account is how bad the Titans secondary is. So I'm going to give him 216.
216. I like how you give 32 more yards. Like, you're not taking into account 32 more yards. Okay. Fair.
Makes a big difference. Big difference. Point and a half fantasy.
Point and
How about the Jets taking on the Dolphins in Miami?
Dolphins. I mean, they have to win this. They want to stay up on the top of the AFC, close to the Ravens. And then, the Bills are within striking distance. They want to keep their distance. So, Miami.
Yeah, I mean, the Jets looked good last week, though, is a problem. And
they did. I mean, they looked good second half. You're right, their second half.
They could upset the Dolphins here. I don't think they will. I'm taking the Dolphins myself, but this is one I would not put money on. Zach Wilson will throw for 165 yards and come back down yards.
I'm going to give Zach 207.
Okay. Because the Dolphins secondary is legit. Now, DeAndre Hopkins absolutely lit up Xavier Howard last week. Jalen Ramsey, no one wants to throw on him right now. But Xavier Howard got lit up.
Kemp, we got to speed these picks up. The people want to hear.
Okay, fine. Just saying some things.
How dare you?
Shut your mouth. Shut up. Shut your mouth.
No, you shut your mouth. You're talking too much.
Go.
All right. Giants at Saints. Tommy Cutlets. How many he got?
DeVito. Giants win this game.
Okay.
I'm going with the Giants. And DeVito's going to have 218.
218. Okay. I'm going to go with the Saints just because I hate them. And whenever I don't pick them, they win. And whenever I do, they lose. So I'm just throwing caution to the wind and just going with the Saints. And Tommy DeVito will have 234.
Okay. Chiefs at Patriots. Ugh. This
Moving
got flexed out of Monday night.
Flex. The first flex in history.
So bad.
Chiefs. Zappy will throw for 220.
Yeah, I was going to say about the same. I'm actually going to go into that at 207.
Okay.
As much as I love him gunslinging, the Chiefs secondary is pretty good. Washington at the Rams.
Rams putting up some fight, man. They should have and almost beat the Ravens. They didn't. Stafford showing signs of life. Give me the Rams.
Give me the Rams as well. The Commanders suck, and the Rams are showing signs of life. That offense is finally clicking again. Cup looks healthy.
Yes. Niners, Cards.
Niners.
Niners. Moving on.
Cowboys, Bills. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good
one. Bill showed some fight against the Chiefs, but man, I hate to say it, but the Cowboys are looking freaking good. Dak is on fire right now. CeeDee Lamb unstoppable. Got to go Cowboys. Yikes.
I picked the Bills last week to beat the Chiefs. It was an absolute must-win for them. They've got to keep winning to stay alive in the playoffs. I almost took them this week, but then I remembered they should have really lost the Kansas City game. That stupid Kadarius Toney penalty. They should have lost it anyway. And I know it's going to be at home, but the Cowboys have been looking really good. I'm taking the boys.
Yeah. Yikes.
Ravens, Jaguars.
Ravens, Jags. So Trevor, I was surprised Trevor played last week. I
broke his ankle, played anyway.
And like, screw it. I'm going to play. But couldn't obviously get it done. So I'm going to go Ravens. They've been looking real good. Showed some grit to grind it out against the Rams, and they've just been on fire. So
yeah, I got to go Ravens as well. Something's just not working totally with the Jags right now. They are 8-5. They're still in the playoffs, but I don't know. Can't quite put it all together. And Christian Kirk being out definitely hurts. Parker Washington has been a good story, though.
He has been. And finally, Monday night, we got two bird teams, Eagles and the Sea Chickens. Who you got?
So I've got upset alert on this one. I'm going to take the Eagles, I think, but the Seahawks absolutely could win this game. I might put some money on them if Geno is playing. I will not take them if Drew Lock is playing. And for the sake of this exercise, we are predicting Drew Lock's passing yards. So yes. I think he can pass on them, 234. I just think the Eagles, if it's Drew Lock, I don't think they'll win.
Yeah. Seahawks have lost 4 straight, unfortunately. I'm going to go with the Eagles, even though they have lost 2 straight. And I will give Drew 251.
Whoa, explosion.
Yes.
Explosion from Drew Lock. I love how the tiebreaker is still how many points.
I just saw that. Still the Chiefs Patriots.
I put 34, and I think that's way too high.
I put 38, and I was like, oh, wait.
Oh, that's way, way too high, yeah.
Well, I'm just assuming the Chiefs are going to score 30 of them. So
38-0. Chiefs.
38-0. It could be. It could be. All right. There we have it. Been a while since we've done some Pigskin Pick'em. Maybe this will change my fortunes by doing it on the air. I hope so, because I don't want to be out $90. I'm just saying, even if it's like 70, fine, but not the full 90. I really don't.
Full 90. We're going for a full 90.
We're going for the full 90. So we didn't talk too much fantasy, but the playoffs are officially our league. They're officially starting. I am playing against Blake in the first round, 3 seed versus 6 seed. I don't like it. Blake beat me earlier this season by a handful, but his Dolphins were doing it. I'm hoping maybe Tyreek could be slowed down a little bit. Kemp, I expect you to make a huge run in the consolation bracket. You're Jekyll and Hyde.
I have focused all of my energy on the dynasty team, where I am also a 3 seed. I'm taking on Drader, 6 seed, who was so bad this season, but will probably beat me in the first round, which is complete garbage. His team is not good. He had a 5-9 record and made it into the playoffs.
Yeah,
I could crush him, but we'll see.
You should crush him. So yes, good luck in the dynasty playoffs. I will be going for the consolation bracket as well. So yeah, just we flipped. We just flipped in there. So fun times. So that's gonna do it for this episode. Bring back some Pigskin Pick'em. Can't remember that fun game. I did okay, not great, but I was in the ballpark a lot. So until next time, keep on folding.
Fold it.